Turning now to your community focus, it is back to school, back to routine, and today we're joined by Tim Duffy. He's the executive director of the Rhode Island Association of School Committees.
He joins us now live via Zoom at 4. Tim, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Good afternoon.
So we certainly saw some tense, heated school committee meetings over the summer leading up to the start of the school year. Mask mandates were certainly often a big point of discussion for these meetings. What's your message to parents for the start of the year?
Well, what happened with some of those committee meetings, which were very heated and very tense at times, what we witnessed as school has started is there have been no pushback, with a few exceptions of people that have legitimate medical issues to wearing masks. So, I mean, parents can feel assured that the policy, the mask mandate that the department put in place is working. There's not a lot of dissent about it. What people have to understand is with or without a state mask mandate, students had to wear masks on buses because that's a federal requirement. So masks were going to be worn one way or the other. It's unfortunate that a lot of heat and fury were directed at public officials, and the end result is that there has been little backlash about mask mandates in any of the 36 school districts.
Tim, I want to ask you some questions about a Target 12 report from our colleagues yesterday. They reported about a brand new consulting firm that was awarded a more than $5 million contract by the state to help assist schools in reopening. What's your understanding of how they're being used at a district level?
Well, I took the liberty of surveying school superintendents and school chairs, and to my knowledge, there's only one school district. Not all the districts have responded, I have to admit, but so far, there's only one district that asked the ILO group to review their school reopening plans, and that was Little Compton. And the rest of the responses have been that they haven't been contacted and they're not even aware of the services that the consulting firm offers.
So what do you make of that?
Well, you know, again, there was a lot of direction on school reopening. I don't know exactly what this company is contracted to provide. And according to the story that I read on your website, they're supposed to also be providing short-term and long-term guidance to school districts. So it remains to be seen what they're going to offer. But relative to the opening of school, you know, that pretty much took place with the guidance from the CDC and from the Department of Ed, and with the exception of Providence, all schools are now fully reopened.
The other question I had as a follow-up to that report from yesterday, Governor McKee told Target 12 that the consulting group will also help in launching a municipal education program. What's your understanding of how that would impact the authority that local school committees currently have?
My understanding is that for the most part, those municipal programs are in place working in conjunction with school districts to provide continued learning throughout the summer months, 10 weeks when students aren't in school. And that's a continuation of the programs that both the department and the locals have. You know, the state law gives very specific directions to superintendents and school committees and invests in them very specific responsibilities that the state Supreme Court has affirmed. So I'm not exactly sure what the municipal agencies are going to do. If it provides additional resources to educate children, sure, we would welcome that. But, you know, it's not in a position to replace or take the part of the school committee or the superintendent.
I just want to be sure I'm super clear on what you're saying. Do you think that this could hold up to a legal challenge if it came to that?
No, I mean, I think that the state Supreme Court has clearly said that school committees have an enormous authority under Title 16, and until they rule otherwise, that's the law of the land. So, you know, do we welcome the assistance of municipal government in educating children? Absolutely. You know, we have the contract of budget negotiations with municipalities frequently throughout the course of the school year, and it's up to the city or town to approve their final appropriation for the school department. So we work closely with them. I'm just not sure if what is being proposed is just something that's somewhat redundant.
That's all the time we have with the Executive Director of the Rhode Island Association of School Committees, Tim Duffy. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for inviting me on.